Hey, I'm Chris, and thank you for joining us on the Southwest Florida Business Podcast. I'm here today with Kevin from Seakits, and we dive into a wide variety of topics, everything from what's in these kits to how they test them to make sure they're legit. And we also dive into what it's like to bring a new product to market, test it at trade shows, and get actual feedback from customers, and the difference between what you think is going to work and what actually works in the market. So stay tuned and enjoy. All right, dude, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So,
Cool.
Kevin, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Coming from Seakits. So real quick, before we dive into what it is, can you give us a little bit of a background about who you are and then maybe how you got involved with Seakits and then what you're doing with the company now?
Sure. So I'm a born and raised Southwest Floridian.
Oh.
Went to Riverdale High School and then to FGCU for my undergrad. At FGCU, majored in economics and finance, and then started working for a company called Flight Docs.
I've never heard of them.
Through my senior year of intern there, and then came on full time after graduation. Took a little time away from there, went to Lennar for a little bit, and then had the opportunity to come join the Baxter Marine Group team and work as their vice president of finance and help oversee their Seakits brand. The Seakits brand, it's emergency repair and damage control kits for their boats. We put together 3 different kits from your jet ski guy all the way up to your 100-foot plus passenger vessel.
Sure.
So we're covering kind of the whole scope of boats out there, and Southwest Florida is a perfect place for boating. So we're kind of at home. We have a great market. We get great market research in our own backyard.
Sure.
That's kind of led to the development of 2 new kits, and we're excited to see what the future holds.
Nice. All right, cool. So this is damage control for boats. You guys do everything from, like you said, jet skis and then, big ass boats too.
Yeah.
All right. So like yachts and stuff. And then do you even do like tankers and things like that?
Yachts, passenger vessels, like the ferry boats, they'll take you around New York City and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's in its simplest form, it's a first aid kit for the boat rather than for the people on the boat.
Sure.
So you're getting all the plugs, wraps, patches, fasteners that you need in case something goes wrong, and something's going to go wrong. I think any boater would tell you that shit's going to hit the fan at some point.
Yep.
So you might as well be prepared and put yourself in the best situation to fix it with the Seakit.
Nice. All right, cool. So on this, I want to talk about some of the kind of products and stuff that you have in there and how you pick partners, because with something like this, you could claim, okay, great, the boat sinks and you have this, you're fine, but you could also just make that up. Like that's possible too.
Sure.
It could just be a marketing thing. So I did see the one video that you guys did where you got to test some of this stuff out, which is pretty sweet. I think I'll put a link in the show notes so people can find that. But can you explain to people what that was and kind of how you test out the products? And then maybe we could talk about how you decide who you want to partner with.
Sure.
Yeah.
So to start with how we pick our products, it would have been really easy for us to go out and just get a bunch of cheap tools and things that, are going to, most boaters, they're going to be around water. Salt water is not very tool friendly, but we could have just gone out, thrown a bunch of cheap tools and plugs and said, all right, here you go. We made it nice and pretty for you, but
give some cheap stuff, but have a nice profit margin. And,
just
call
laugh
it a
all the
day.
way to the bank. But that's not what we did.
Okay.
Our approach was quality tools in a quality case. So our big kit, our Expedition, our offshore kit comes with a full line of Fiskars tools. So you're getting quality tools, stainless tools, Gerber multi-tools, and every kit's coming in a Pelican case. So you're getting a durable, waterproof case. It's going to float even with everything in it. The military uses it. So, yeah.
So if somebody like torpedoes your boat, you can throw this thing over and it'll still float?
You can float on it until someone gets there for you. So
a little Titanic
does it all.
situation?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
But only one person can fit on a sea kit. So.
Oh, well, that's how the door was in Titanic. So,
Debatable.
All right. So you got the big kit. And then, so basically you guys are going through and just trying to put quality stuff in here. So in the big one, you have a bunch of tools. I imagine jet skis don't need a giant toolkit. It would actually probably be pretty prohibitive. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between, like how do you guys size these things up? What's the difference between them?
Sure. So we have boating experience within our company. Between our founder, myself, our CEO, we're on the water or around water. We know what it's like to be out there.
Yeah.
And between all the people here, we have guys with a 16-foot micro skiff all the way up to a 84-foot yacht. So we're able to kind of get different perspectives when we're in the product development phase. The jet ski kit comes in a dry bag because most jet skiers don't have room for a Pelican case or don't want to. They have more important things that they think need to be on the jet ski. So it comes in a dry bag. You can beat it up, squash it down and make it fit. But you're still getting the important critical damage control things that you need tailored towards jet ski. You're not going to need a saw. You're not going to need a big plug. You're just going to need the little things, to make a quick repair, get you back to the boat ramp, get you back to the dock.
Yep.
The mid-size kit's going to come in the Pelican case. Again, not as tool intensive and more focused on that, quick emergency repair till help gets there, till the Coast Guard gets there, or you can get back to the dock and make the correct repair yourself. Where our big kit's going to come the full scope of tools, the full thing of plugs, wraps, and patches.
Got it.
More of we'll call it a longer short-term fix, because those people are going to be the ones that are going offshore, traveling to the Bahamas, traveling across open water and need to be safe for an extended period of time.
Yeah. You might need to keep the water out for a couple hours, depending on how far out that you went, things like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Got it. So coming back to the products that you guys use, I know you say that it's like high quality and you test them out. I kind of want to dive into like how do you choose the partners that you guys work with and the products that go into it?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the product selection, we kind of made the list of, hey, here's what we want in the kit first. And then from that, we looked at, again, back to the quality. We didn't want to go with cheap. So we listed, all right, here are the people that we could, want to work with. Here are the brands that we want to carry and we want to support and want to partner with. Some of those decisions were easier than others. Like Pelican, you were getting the brand recognition. We're like, all right,
sure,
no brainer, we're going Pelican cases. Some of the other ones, you kind of play back and forth. Pricing, of course, is a factor. We want to be able to give our customers the best deal, but at the same time, we want it to be cheaper than if they went out and did it all themselves.
Yep.
So for us to get a good deal on pricing and then pass that on to our customer so that they have cost savings and they're still getting everything they need, that's a win-win for both.
Got it. Okay. And so some of this, I was looking at the T-Rex. We got the duct tape here. This isn't the one, but there's one that the guy has it hooked up to a machine and it's lifting like a barbell with 700 pounds or something like that.
It's impressive. Yeah. You can't rip it. You need a knife to cut it.
Really?
Yeah. You can't rip it.
All right. So then what do you use that for? Because I imagine when the boat's sinking, you're not lifting up a 750-pound barbell. So what is it for?
That's true. That's a good point. But it's like a duct tape type substitute, we'll call it. There's going to be situations, high pressure water coming in, or if you just need to lash something down really quick on a windy day, or if a rope breaks, it's a quick, easy way to just wrap something up. And it's going to hold because you can lift a 700-pound dumbbell with it.
Is that the thing in the test video where it's like the water shooting out of the pipe and then he just slaps like the duct tape?
So that's the T-Rex waterproof tape.
Okay.
So all three tapes that come in our kits are the T-Rex brand. So you're getting a great brand. We have the duct tape, the brute force tape, which is the one you're talking about, and then the waterproof tape. Waterproof tape, check out our video. It's incredible. You can just slap it right over top of water coming out and you're done. Like there's no water coming in after that. So
it's pretty sweet. I watched the test video. So what's the company? They're in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah. So we took our big kit, our expedition kit, to the Resolve Maritime Trainer in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And just put everything through the tests, put it through the paces, make sure that we weren't just putting nice looking products in a nice looking box. We wanted to make sure, these are actually going to work when you have water coming in. So we tested all of our products, from our True Plug product to the tapes to the wood wedges, and all the tools that came in there. And the goal was to reenact something actually going wrong on a ship.
Well, and that's what it looks like. So when I watch the video, it looks like you're in like a giant room in a ship, and they have all these big pipes with huge cracks and holes in them, and it's shooting out probably hundreds of gallons of water in a couple minutes. And it was cool to watch them go in and like wrap everything
Wrap
up.
it, and then the water's done. That's the cool part.
And it's not coming in anymore,
Exactly,
which
yeah.
is pretty sweet. And that was kind of something that changed my mind about this stuff because, you know, I was around it and, you know,
Sure.
you hear the marketing for it and you're like, all right, fine. And then I watched that video. I was like, all right, maybe this is actually legit.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, you know, it's a product where most people kind of, you know, it's the same way. They're like, oh, I don't need that until they're in a situation when they need it.
Yeah.
You know?
Or it's like, hey, I'm sure I can go get cheaper stuff, which you may be able to, but it's kind of one of those things. It's like all in there and it's good quality. So it's actually, my main thing was looking at this and making sure it did what it was saying that it could do. And watching that video, I was like, all right, fair enough. This
You're getting good stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
This can do it. So, so with some of the stuff, right? So you got multiple, like getting back to the business side of it,
Sure.
right? And being in finance and having that as your background. How do you guys decide where the business goes? So you've got a few different types of Seakits. You've got basically a jet ski, a regular boat, and then a big boat. Those are like the kind of differences. So like from a finance side and a business perspective, how do you guys look at what's selling, who's buying it, how many are coming in, who's buying what? Like how do you look at this stuff and then make decisions about the future of the company and where this goes?
Sure. So the boat shows have been very helpful in that regard because we're getting, you know, in-person feedback. And it's crazy to see like the different sections of Florida, what product is more popular based on demographic and boat type.
What do you mean?
So like we go to Fort Lauderdale at the Fort Lauderdale boat show. Most of the boats over there are your bigger yachts, you know, your offshore boats.
Okay.
Our big kit was the best seller there. You know, we're all excited like, hey, this is our flagship product now. Then we did a couple shows on the west coast of Florida where you're getting more of your inland, your coastal boater, like your center console guy. Most of those people are going for our essentials kit. So then we're like, all right, like now we're kind of getting to cover more the giant scope of the market, you know? So it's getting that personal feedback, that instant feedback of, oh, you know, demographically, what part of the state or what part of the country even has been very helpful in targeting our marketing efforts.
Okay. Yeah. So basically with that, so it sounds like it's a combo of both, right? You can definitely take a look at the financial side and see what's selling more, but it's also at this stage getting out there and getting direct feedback from people. And it kind of evolves from there then, right? Because you look at it and you're like, oh my God, we're going full throttle on the big kits. And you show up to the West Coast and it's like, we don't want that. And you're like, oh, okay. Reverse and go from there.
The important thing with a product like this, and especially in the marine industry, is the ability to quickly make a change, you know? So if you're focusing your marketing on one product and you're saying, hey, like maybe this product isn't popular in this area, not to just pull out of that area, but, you know, try a different product, put out a different ad to see if, okay, maybe you're targeting the wrong type of boater.
That's true. Yeah. And you're getting that feedback and you can kind of adjust on the fly. That's interesting. All right, cool. Was that kind of like a wake up moment? Like, oh, well, maybe we don't know everything.
Big time, yeah. And I mean, for me being a born and raised Floridian, you know, I'm thinking, all right, like we boat year round. You know, getting into this industry, it's like, all right, like what can we do in like the Great Lakes? You know, the river systems all through the Northwest, like Pacific Northwest. And it's like, all right, they're all under snow right now, so let's not market any of it. Like now's the time. You get into springtime, people are starting to de-winterize their boats and get ready for boating season up there. Compared to down here and like the Gulf Coast and, you know, the South Atlantic, we're boating all year round. So, you know, focus your marketing efforts through the winter time.
Yeah,
in those areas.
Yeah. So was it a lesson in like prioritization of
Big time.
Where to focus? Like find the cash first and then go from there.
Big time.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going through a similar process with my own business. It's, hey, I've got it figured out. And then you put it out there and it's like, oh, just that one person really wanted this.
It's like what you always think is not what the market always thinks.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's cool to learn it. And it's interesting to see that it's not that different with a product-based thing because I've only really been in service-based industries, whether it's SaaS or just service. But then hearing that about a product, that is kind of cool that it really is the same. You have to go out, you have to figure out what people are actually looking for, and then you can kind of maneuver and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So where do you guys see this part of the business going? Like, what's kind of top of mind for you guys moving forward?
Top of mind for us would be, we're coming up on our first boating season, for the Midwest and Pacific Northwest, that we have the mid-size kit and the smaller kit. So We're super excited to kind of bring these to market in those geographical regions and see the success that those have.
Okay.
I think it's a product, like I said, it's a product that we hope you never have to use, but we think everyone should have on a boat.
Sure.
So it's a matter of convincing people like, hey, spend the money on your safety, protect what matters.
Yeah. Okay. And so breaking into those new markets.
Exactly. Yeah.
And kind of getting them warmed up, because we're in February now, end of February as we're recording this. So by the time this goes out and by the time you guys launch these campaigns, hopefully for them, the snow will be
snow's gone,
thawing out at least. Sometimes that snow doesn't leave till like June up there, but
couldn't imagine.
Yeah, but it's a nice area.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe you can use it as an excuse to go on some business trips up there and be like, hey, I gotta go to Washington, I gotta go to Oregon, so I gotta sling some kits, so you guys gotta send me.
Yeah, works for me.
Yeah, so we'll use this as video evidence that you need to go on these.
You need to travel.
That you need to travel. Exactly. So I'm glad I could maybe help you.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Yeah. He's coming to the Northwest.
I'll see you guys in springtime.
Cool. Well, yeah, is there anything else that you wanted to touch on while we're talking?
No, that's it. Yeah.
The one thing I did want to highlight is this this LED flare, because one thing I was hoping that I could do, since you said you had a flare in the kit, I was hoping like I could point the gun at you on camera, but just for anybody listening, it looks like kind of like the bottom of maybe a lightsaber or something like that. So I could just shine this light right in your eyes and blind you, but it would have been funnier to me to be able to like point the flare gun at you.
So back to the product development thing. One of the main things we were thinking about when developing this is that I was going to go on a podcast, and the podcast host was going to try to shoot me with a flare. So how could we put a product in there that would allow that not to happen?
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad you brought this up. But no, in all seriousness, we do keep a Coast Guard compliant LED distress signal in the kit. This replaces and satisfies the requirements for your conventional pyrotechnic flares, so that you don't have to. And they expire every 2 years. And I think most boaters like myself have a bin in their garage of just expired flares that, what do you do with them? You wait till the 4th of July and have a great time. But, most of the time it's, you just have this bin of expired flares. And now the Sirius Signal, one of our partners, came out with a Coast Guard compliant LED flare version, 60 nautical mile range. And then it, lasts forever, pretty much. 3 C batteries, so you don't have to worry about like the flare expiring.
Yeah,
all you have to worry about is keep an extra pair of C batteries on you, and you're good to go.
Nice, dude. That's cool. And this seems like this floats.
It does, yeah.
Okay.
So it floats. It fits in a rod holder. It can tie it anywhere you need to. So you can get it. The design, you see like the top there. It's someone a lot smarter than me decided or came up with the idea that you can shoot like the way that's designed. It can be seen from an airplane up above, as well as cascaded across.
That's what this point is, this upside down point. Interesting. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty smart product.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet. I'm not going to turn this because I will blind myself and I have stuff to do for the rest of the day. So I'm going to refrain from doing that. But maybe after we get off here, I'll shine it in your eyes and and get you some workers' comp.
Right. Sounds good. Yeah, I think I have 2 of them. So.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, where can people find you on social media, or go check out the kits, buy some kits?
Check out the kits, buy the kits at seakits.com. And then be sure to give us a follow, like, and subscribe to us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Okay. Is that Seakits?
It's Seakits. And then on Instagram, it's Seakits DC.
For damage control?
Yes, sir.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. Kevin, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me on.
Really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Chris.
See ya.
See ya.